With Fallout 76 being a multiplayer game, this has raised concerns amongst avid Fallout fans, mainly to how certain mechanics will behave differently from its predecessors. For example, VATS, the Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System, which previously would allow you to slow down time to select which part of the body you would like to hit, now functions in real time. With this being an online game, it makes sense, but Fallout has a lot of systems in place that would need to change drastically for it to work in an online environment. How will auto and/or saving work here? How will some of the perks work online, for example, charisma? How will sleeping and waiting work in the day-night cycle? A lot of these worries and woes I'm sure Bethesda has put much thought into, and Bethesda are no stranger to change. After adopting the Fallout franchise, then creating Fallout 3, Bethesda, for better or worse depending on who you talk to, changed the gameplay from prior Fallouts drastically, the biggest change being going from an isometric point of view and a turn-based combat system to a third or first-person real-time shooter. This upset a lot of die-hard Fallout fans and brought Fallout to a wider reach, with Fallout 3 earning in its first week near 1.7 million copies sold just on consoles, which was more than all the previous Fallouts combined. With the critical and commercial success, Fallout was now looking at a bright future with Bethesda after they dared to change the way in such a way they did. It seems the risk was worth it, but now we're looking at another turning point in the franchise. Fallout, despite recent criticisms, is a role-playing game. A world you wouldn't want to find yourself in, but you gleefully explore it nonetheless. Walking through destroyed villages, taking note of the passing terrain, seeing cars surrounded by cases, whether that be suitcases or bullet cases, pondering what happened to these people and how terrifying it would have been when the bombs fell. Despite whatever forced storyline Bethesda chooses to implement into Fallout, it's always my story I've established, and my story that I will pave for myself. I will pick and choose what stays and what hits the cutting room floor. I treat Fallout as a foundation to tell my own story, and it's the quality of that foundation which will determine how much one can get out the game. This is how I choose to play. If you're the type of person who plays just for the gunfights, or the exploring, or all of the above, then games like Fallout provide that sandbox where you can get lost, where you can make the world your own, you become familiar with the intricate details of said world, and you become immersed. Immersion plays a key component for me when venturing out into the wasteland. How I interact with my surroundings and the NPCs are true to my character that I'm trying to portray. Does this character have a motive that interferes with my own? What story does this destroyed house tell? Who lived here? And where are they now? In Fallout 76, this is going to be slightly different. With no human NPCs, this presents the question, well, how do I interact with NPCs then? And this is where the title of the video is based on. Fallout 76 is different. This is not going to be your typical single-player experience, where you will become familiar with your surroundings, and I'll elaborate on that. Once you join a server, you will be in a different world each time, with the player-built settlements present in different locations each and every time you log in and off. This is something I do not like. In Fallout 4, one of my favorite things is exploring the wastes and running to the settlements I've built and knowing that I've left my mark. It shows where I've showcased my creativity, and genuinely, settlement building is one of, if not my favorite thing to do in Fallout 4. It'll be there when I've moved on, and it'll be there when I'm back. But that's not what Fallout 76 is, nor is it what it's trying to be. Fallout 76 is what I'm calling a softcore MMO, a multiplayer instance world with future regular content updates, and this is a shared world with others, their ideas, their builds, their method of playing. You share this space. This is no longer yours. This brings up the expression, giving power to the player, and with the aforementioned foundation, we the players are given power to play with however we want. It begs the question, in a multiplayer game in a franchise that's so heavily single player based, how much power is too much power? With the ability to work together to completely destroy a zone, the ability to single-handedly ruin or disrupt another person's experience, coupled with Fallout 76 providing the tools to do so, whether that be nukes that can be fired, or being able to view all of the players on the map unless you are crouched, aka in sneak mode. This might be a Fallout game, but it's going to play so differently than what we're used to. But with that comes different aspects that can be built upon from a single player experience, and this includes roleplay. Roleplaying in a single player environment is always a blast, but it's always somewhat linear compared to roleplaying with your friends or just in general in a multiplayer setting. Things tend to spiral out of control in a fun way or a disastrous way, and I have a feeling this will play out in one of two ways. One way is something I've been thinking about doing as soon as Fallout 76 lands, and that's run my own store with my friends. They'll be guards and we'll have a no weapon policy like the Silver Rush store in New Vegas. We'll greet everyone and maintain security, roleplay as shopkeepers. Sure, people can raid us, but that's all part of the experience, and quite frankly, it's quite exciting. But this is when both parties are on board with the given situation. Both parties are role-playing or engaging in the event, making it fun for everyone involved, whether that be trading safely or raiding. Fallout 76 gives us, the player, the boots to fill. In other Fallout games, there's raiders, mercenaries, and traveling caravans, but in 76, we have to create those roles ourselves, and it's something I'm really looking forward to. If it's done correctly, but even if that's not the case, what right do the role players have in telling others how to play? What right do the people who just want to run around and shoot things have in telling people how to play? What right do the people who want to raid and grief have in telling people how to play? This collective group of personalities all lumped together is something that's going to make Fallout 76 such a unique experience for us all. We can play how we want, and that foundation needs to be solid enough to enable these different playstyles but still maintain a fun atmosphere and experience for everyone. But giving players the capability to do such actions is, as mentioned prior, something Fallout fans are skeptical about, and this ties into the game being a new, changed, and different way to play Fallout. Sure, we will have private servers after launch that will allow us to play on our own or with friends with mods, but that's not the quote-unquote true way to play Fallout 76. This game will put emphasis on those player engagements, and whether that turns into some roleplay that involves both parties or numerous parties engaging one another, or some kids screaming "F you, you fat f yourself, you." That's the price we pay for being in a multiplayer world that's new to the franchise, or just being in a multiplayer world on the internet. That will open up its doors to new personalities and new players. The real emphasis I'm trying to put across is this is not your typical Fallout game, and for those who will jump into Fallout 76 expecting it to play out like previous titles will be disappointed. So don't set yourself up for disappointment. That's not fair on you nor the game. Try new things and be open to change. Bethesda has showcased they can deal with change in the past, so with that begs the question, what kind of person are you going to be when we venture out into the wastes in West Virginia? Thank you for watching, everyone. Those of you who watched my previous video know I was dropping the DS at the end of my name. Well, funny story about that. I thought I was going to be able to get the Paragon alias on Twitch as it was inactive, but the day my request went through, they streamed on the Paragon account for the first time in a year, thus making it active again. So that was unfortunate. So for brand consistency, I'm just going to keep the DS at the end and just deal with it. But I just want to say another thank you for the heartwarming response to that video, and for those of you who have kept me company over on my Twitch channel the past few days, it's really meant a lot to me. I've been feeling not the best lately, and you guys have really cheered me up. I'm not 100% there yet mentally, in fact I am not even close, but you guys are making the whole ordeal a lot easier. Lastly, how do you like this video? Do you think it's a step in the right direction? Obviously, as we take new steps into the unknown with this channel, your feedback is really important to me, so I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section, or if you want to get a little more personal, you can join our Discord. I'm on there all the time and we can chat there. I pretty much kept the same formula I did for Dark Souls videos, but kind of interpreted it into different areas, so I hope you guys like it. And with that said, take care everyone, and I will see you next time.